as we move ahead, right, I think we've been talking about what all things we've been trying to solve for, along with understanding what the ecosystem is doing. And as said, right, building the right experience takes so much of efforts, feedback, and putting it in your entire product process. Which is where today we'll be talking to Gaurav from Housing.com, who owns the consumer-facing product at Housing.com. One of the reasons we felt it would be very interesting to talking with Gaurav was, Housing.com has been pretty much focusing on having that right experience for the users, both in terms of browsing and finding the right stuff on their platform, but also, getting assured that their entire design, look and feel doesn't break on mobile, right? We'd have a chat with Gaurav on this when he comes on board, and we try to understand that, what is something that they are solving for and what they're doing. So we probably will just wait for a minute for Gaurav to join us. In the meantime, you can, hydrate yourself, have some quick water, and join us back in a minute.
Hey
Hi,
Harshad,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All well, as one can be in this situation. But yeah, let's hope we recover soon. Great.
Surely, yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. Again, warm welcome to Build for Mobile. Happy to add you to our legacy of doing Build for Mobiles and hosting speakers. Really curious to learn and hear from you today, right?
Thank you, Harshad.
So Gaurav, I think, as you know, right, the key impetus that has been there is to share learnings, what folks in the community are doing. And, a lot of times from the days Housing.com has been there, you've kind of, maintained or kept intact a lot of your experience while still users have evolved, while the platforms have evolved. And as said, right, users are really thronging on mobile today, right? So we are really curious to understand, and it's not at the cost of growth. I think you can justify, but I think you are probably the largest platform in India who's in your category. So I think without costing on growth and ensuring experience, you're still leading in the market. So we all are very curious to hear those things from you. And, do share us what you've learned so far in your journey. And, let's also understand what the audience and our community would want to learn from you, right? So why don't you go ahead and, share your screen and get started?
Cool. Thank you, Harshad. Thank you for introducing me, and I feel privileged to be here. And hello to all of you who have joined us to this session. So just let's start about me. Means who am I and all. So my name is Gaurav Jain, guys. So currently I'm leading the product. I'm working as a lead product manager for Housing.com, right? So if I talk about the precise role, I am looking for or looking after as a user custodian, as a search journey for the housing demand app or the consumer app. So housing demand app has multiple product profiles. Like you can search for homes. You can do other things that will come a little later in this PPT, right? As far as my career is concerned, I've been working here at Housing.com since last 1.5 2 years, right? So before that, I worked with companies like Delivery, Shine.com, MeraJob.in, right? So in overall, I have a product experience of 6 to 7 years. As far as my alma mater is concerned, I have done my MBA from IIT Kharagpur and BTech from Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University. And Harshad, you can share my coordinates with everyone who would like to, get in contact with me and ask certain questions about the product. Right?
Right.
Just to shortly cover about Housing.com. So as you know that before 2016-17 it was a standalone entity, but in 2017 it was acquired by a group called Elara Group, which is based out of Singapore. So we are part of Elara Group, a bigger group. Under the same group, we have PropTiger.com and Makan.com at the same segment in industry. which is real estate industry. So we call ourselves as full stack real estate company because our presence is both at online and offline levels, right? So if I talk about specifically about the housing.com, it is a real estate classifieds platform where a user can buy, sell, rent, or look for properties in PG or co-living, right? So apart from this, recently housing.com has stepped in into services like pay your rent, rent agreement online, movers and packers, tenant verifications, because these days everything is coming online. Thanks to COVID, but yes, unfortunately, this is the thing that nobody wants to step out and most of the things online, right? For such things as rent agreement, so you can just go online and make your rent agreement, pay your rent, tenant verification you can do online. So that's why we call ourselves as full stack real estate company, because at every stage of user journey or somehow related to home and property, they can go onto housing.com or come to housing.com app and
Right.
use all these services.
Right. So Gaurav, I think great. Thank you for sharing that view with us. Just as a curious, I am. What are some of the problems that users come to housing.com to solve for? Right. So of course, as a whole, we do understand you are a full stack piece that you're trying to solve across. But what are if you could highlight some of the major problems that your users come with on housing.com, and how you tend to solve for it? Because I feel discovery is one of the biggest things, and with people now moving across cities and finding not only a decent real estate but also a safe and a secure place is also very important. So but yeah, that's why
Correct.
you would love to understand from you what are the problems you see in the space that users have, and any interesting insights if you could share.
Sure. Yeah. So I've just put 2 to 3 slides over here
Sure.
regarding the success stories. So as you said that, one of the core product offerings that housing.com has is this home search piece, right? Where user can just download the app and start browsing properties near them, or at in any city or in any locality. It's a very easy search experience that we strive to provide to the user. So there is minimize the blockage into that journey, right? So one of the problem statements that we came across as we talk about the mobile first experience. So I will talk about the app first, as in because we have seen a tremendous growth in the last 1 or 2 years in app downloads, whether it be organic or paid. So in last year, just to give you an example or just to give you context around it, in last 1 year, we have got 2.5x jump in monthly active users in housing.com, right? And 60% of those users are new users, right?
Okay.
So the problem that we identified or noticed with this kind of growth was that there was a same day uninstall rate was pretty high, right?
Okay.
So let's say users are downloading the app and going to the homepage and start searching, but they are somehow uninstalling the app. So we figured out why it happened. So before that, as just one step backwards, we used to call users to understand their problem. So
Hmm.
what we understood was that there was a lack of hand holding in the
Okay.
product. So
Okay.
by hand holding means there was a lack of onboarding of new users on our platform, and hence we through user research and all that things and data also, that what kind of prominent filters are there which people are used to apply, and same filters we have created through the onboarding itself, through the user onboarding itself, so
Right.
that there is a kind of hand holding for the users
Hmm.
to come and see the properties which they actually are looking for, rather than opening the whole pool and they are kind of lost in the journey, right?
Right.
uh, so
Hmm.
this was the problem statement, or you can say the metric to improve, right? So what we did was a product intervention where we made this smooth user experience for the users to come and first maybe they can log in through number using OTP when there was no Truecaller, or I won't say no Truecaller. I would say that that solution that Truecaller is talking about, right? That time we used to do this through OTP verification, and this was the journey that you can see on a video. If
Sure.
you want, I can enlarge that.
Sure.
Yeah, just a
Right.
second.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. So if users want to see it, it will be very easy, right? So
Right.
what we have seen here that through onboarding, through
Hmm.
proper handholding, we have improved this metric by 30 to 35%
Hmm.
in 3 to 6 months, right? So
Okay.
this was one of the stories that I wanted to share with the larger audience, right?
Sure. No, I
Uh,
can.
so,
Yeah. Go on, Gaurav. Yeah.
yeah, so anybody can go onto the housing.com app and they themselves can experience this flow and share feedback if they have any, right? Yeah, Harshad, any
Right.
question about it?
No. I think, sorry to interrupt you, but as said, I think that kind of again brings me to that thought, right? As you rightly said, a lot of these users are new users, basically for the first
Correct.
time that you're probably seeing. I could kind of relate to how it works in the offline world that you typically go to a broker and a broker asks you that, hey, okay, which area want you're looking at, or what is your budget, or is it a 1 BHK or 2 BHK that you're looking at? Are you a bachelor or family? And I think
Correct.
these are the kind of qualifying questions that they ask so that they can show you a relevant experience or relevant properties. I think you pretty much tap that behavior because a lot of users might also be comfortable because, as you said, users who might come on your platform would come with certain intent, unlike just doing a window browsing. So I think real kudos to you and team that you were able to tap and identify that behavior, that this is what actually happens, and users mindset is already there. But yeah, you could actually bring it online and saw success with that. That I think testimonies and validates the fact.
Yeah, rightly said, Harshad. And also, just to add, so
Sure.
if you do a user profiling very correctly or in a right manner, we have seen that the results are pretty good, right?
Hmm.
Because the personalization in that manner would be at higher level, at a top notch level. And if you do personalization at a good level, at a very data backed level, then the
Right.
results will follow, right? So
Right.
that we have seen.
Right. Understood. Understood. And with all of these things, Gaurav, what is the role that a user's identity or a verified identity plays for you, right? So, as you said, you of course want to show the right and relevant experience to your users. Uh, is it important, or if it is, why does it become important for you to have a verified user identity in your system?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm coming on to that success story also, Harshad.
Yeah.
This is my success story number two, which I think Truecaller one step login has tremendously helped us to get or to reach to that point, right?
Right.
So a verified mobile number is kind of a lone identity that we can refer to in our systems,
Hmm.
apart from email ID, which currently is not verified. But yes,
Hmm.
whenever we kind of exchange leads with our sellers,
Hmm.
they only want a verified mobile number as a first step.
Hmm.
Otherwise, that lead is not a qualified lead at all.
Hmm.
So this adds 90% of the business value.
Right.
Other things are emails and name, etc. Right. So in that sense, it is a very high business value to us. So coming to the problem statement again. So
Hmm.
as I said that there were lots of new users coming onto the platform, the housing app,
Right.
and we have also started the onboarding that I've discussed in the
Hmm.
first step. So the major problem now we encountered with was high drop-off rates,
Hmm.
right? So we have seen that users are not logging in through OTP because this is a kind of a blocker.
Hmm.
So we also gave a skip step to it.
Hmm.
So, but then that didn't really solve the problem because we have seen that a user who has actually logged in gives us higher business value in the own
Hmm.
life cycle of that user, right?
Hmm.
Versus the users who are not logged in at all, right?
Right.
So, what could be the solution so that easily user can log in without too much hassle? So
Hmm.
that caller came in and pitched in, and that worked wonders for us.
Hmm.
So. Uh, I'll just start this video,
Sure.
right? So as you already showed with other of your customers that they are also using the same thing. Actually, I'll be also running the same thing, that how our user experience built in through with Truecaller. So this is the step when user used to select which where what you wanted to do on housing dot. As I said that we have current multiple product offerings.
Right.
So would you like to search for home or pay rent, or post their properties, right?
Right.
So once they select this, now we, as a user identity that we're talking about,
Hmm.
right? This is only one step login now,
Hmm.
as a Google login or maybe Facebook login.
Sure.
But that only gives us the Gmail or the email ID, which is of lesser value than the verified mobile number.
Right.
So once we log in, then we continue that step. This becomes pretty native to the overall scheme of things,
Right.
right? So this becomes very easy for the users to just click there and continue with the journey. So what we have seen using this, that we have got 20 to 25% increase improvement in the drop of rates
Hmm.
in a very short time, right?
Right.
And apart from this, we have got increase in conversions, which is business value to the whole organization.
Right.
And of course, the signups also increased by 25 to 30% on our
Right.
platform.
Right. And I think one of the things that we were discussing earlier, I do see that with the Truecaller piece coming in, you really don't have a login or sign up screen. So I think that
Yeah.
that's like a sleek user experience, like and that's probably unique because maybe a user is going on different platforms and they still have to go through a tedious process. But yeah, for you, there is no screen, there is no pushback to the users. It's like served on the platter.
Yeah, yeah. And as I said, that logged in users are giving more business value to us than versus the non-logged in users.
Right.
So this, while onboarding itself, so most of the users are logging in, and
Hmm.
hence making the entire funnel or the journey pretty pretty easy and without any problem.
Interesting. No, I think it's been really awesome working with you on few other things as well. I think as we proceed on that, we should keep coming back and and updating the community. But yeah, this has been really fun working with you and team. Gaurav, as we come to a kind of a conclusion on this discussion, what is one thing that you'd want to have the community as a takeaway where they're building for these users with mobile as a forefront? That they should keep in mind, or something that you might have learned, because a lot of times we build with one perspective, but then
Mhm.
users come back and give a different perspective at all, so it's a revelation
Mhm.
for us. So what is that one thing that you would want to recommend or suggest to all of us?
So, as a product manager experience, whatever experience I had, right?
Hmm.
One thing that I've noticed that we used to spend very little time on user research, right?
Hmm.
So actually, we should spend more time on and actually the money, if that would be the case, in user research tools where
Hmm.
you can see videos what your users are doing on your app or any other platform, right?
Hmm.
And talk to your users regularly.
Hmm.
That's why you get to make products which are user centric.
Right.
Otherwise, in a room you can decide 10 things which are pretty awesome in
Hmm.
your mind, but it is not awesome in your user's mind, right? So
Right.
talk to your users first, do the MVP, right, and then scale it. So that is the thing that I've learned in my whole journey as a product manager.
Interesting. No, I think that's a great learning, which is what I think we also keep on coming back and having discussions with you, who are our stakeholders apart from our end users. So I think definitely completely agree. And I said, with so many new users coming now, it's very difficult to sit in a room and decide what they would want, because all of them display a very different behavior.
Correct.
So completely on board with it. Thank you, Gaurav, for coming on board and sharing your thoughts with us. We will definitely pass on your coordinates with the community. Folks, feel free to reach out to Gaurav wherever you have any questions, you want to learn more on what he's been doing, and have any feedback on the app or the overall housing.com experience.
Yeah.
Right.
Looking forward to that. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much, Gaurav. And on the same note, as said, right, as we've been discussing, that there are a lot of new users whom we all are interacting with. We have a very interesting discussion setup coming now. So, Gaurav, stay tuned with us for that as well. And
Sure.
to all the audience, we are starting with that as well.